Okay, here we go. Last episode of the Platinum run. I left in a lot. It looks long, but that's just because I slowed down the Pokemon League fights. I only left in a few of the Victory Road fights because some of them were interesting, shall we say? um, so like this is one where it got a little crazy. Had a bit of a close call here. Yeah, this is funny because this is where Koryth is like, I need to retreat Empoleon. Why can't I retreat Empoleon?
Yeah, oh no. Well, I guess I'm not retreating Empoleon.
Yeah. So he made it to get through that one just fine. And this was another one that the got a little dicey here with the crit blizzard. So other than the crit blizzard, this one I think went pretty smoothly. Oh, Rampardos hits really hard though.
I think we did a decent job into him.
I think he did.
I don't think he put up much of a fight.
Yeah. It was basically the crit blizzard put you in a bit of a pickle there because we weren't ready. This one was very important fight though.
Porygon Z's a fucking bitch. He has so many different move options.
Yeah, takes the psychic and loses Machamp. One of those things, Porygon Z has got such a weird move pool. This particular trainer has a specific move set on all of his Pokemon, so predicting that psychic was a really tough thing to do. But
we just ended up going for the Jolteon, hope it outspeeds it, which I think we knew it did.
Yeah, the rest of this fight went pretty smoothly.
Yep, because we know it's going to probably look for an ice type move here, and it's like, well, we know who's really resistant to ice, and we can just see who can out-tank the other.
Yeah, just Empoleon versus Empoleon dropping not very effective. This is another fight worth keeping in there, just because, well, you got to keep the rival fights in there. And also just Koryth with what I thought was going to be a fantastic play is just the back and forth U-turn to U-turn. It's looking so good. Then he drops the Ice Fang, and unfortunately it's too fast, but the Leaf Storm follow-up does take out Gliscor.
Yeah, I was too confident that the Ice Fang was going to get him. I should have just stuck with the strategy that was working.
Yeah. I was really excited watching him do that. I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. Like, he's just going to U-turn the shit out of this. It's going to be great. And
yeah,
like,
I saw 4 times. What was it? 4 times weak against ice?
Yeah, it's 4 times weak to ice, but it's a pretty bulky Pokemon, and Ice Fang's not that.
And I wasn't stabbing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't stabbing U-cut either, but
yeah, I don't remember why the Empoleon switch. I don't think you were trying to bait out an attack, or at least not anything that was so vital. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the Snorlax. So this one, I actually cut a little bit out of this particular fight because this is where I was teaching Koryth how to use the Pokemon damage calculator to verify whether close combat would one-shot Snorlax or if he was going to lose.
That's right. The map that we had, on average, I think we had buffed its stats as much as it could be to play it safe. The Snorlax's stats, I mean. And it was it was telling us that it would be a 2-hit KO. So we just kind of had to wing it and hope for the best. It did end up paying off. Blissey.
Yep. He takes in Blissey with the flamethrower. It's a nice idea. Unfortunately, forgot that Blissey's kind of paper when it comes to physical attacks. So yeah, the U-turn from Yanmega there puts Blissey on the back foot right away.
Yeah, I thought she was just full-blown tank. She is just special attack tank.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his, I think, just his fighting type. I almost didn't think about him being bug. I think you had to kind of remind me for a moment. Like he does multiple
this is also where I
things,
told you this is also where I told you like he sees a kill with every one of his moves, so it's a crapshoot whether he uses something like that.
Yep.
And he used that. So, unfortunately, loses the Alakazam on the Switch.
Do you think it would have been better to swap in like Gyarados, let him tank? It's now going. We're actually going to be able to read what move it wants.
Yeah,
And then go from
like
there?
Bringing in something like Gyarados. This is also the kind of situation where teaching your Pokemon Protect is if you don't know what move they're going to use, you can use Protect, and then they'll tell you what move they're going to use.
Yep.
Yeah, so now this is where Koryth is already sweating because he lost a Pokemon on the first the first Elite Four member. Little nervous on this one. Trying to remember how Rock interacts with the bug fighting type.
Yeah, because I was largely pulling up my own Pokemon stats this time around. And trying to crunch my own math and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, then I don't know, probably should have cut this little bit of a pause out too, like I did the Lucario one. It took out like 20 seconds after it was sped up of Lucario just standing there as we were breaking down the math, but I forgot about this one.
Yeah, because I think this one was just me looking at powers, what happens if I stab it, matching that with weaknesses and resistances. Or maybe that's what I'm doing right now.
But in the end, you do make the correct call. Spoiler alert. Once he's back to the actual battle here. Yeah, does go for the Dragon Claw, gets the kill. And this is where things get really unfortunate. So, yeah, Drapion's only weakness is ground, and Garchomp is Garchomp with Earthquake. So, like, what could possibly go wrong?
I should admit that I did have this Drapion's moves in front of me.
Yeah.
But I was also anticipating being faster than a Drapion.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, the crit mattered. You actually would have survived that Ice Fang had it not crit.
Yes.
But all the same, like, you made the right... Like, I would have probably made that same call and lost Garchomp there, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Drapion's 95...
It makes sense, because in all reality, like you said, he should have still tanked that, then likely one shot, and if he doesn't, you can always swap him out to someone.
Yeah. And in
Garchomp still technically lives there.
I, like you, would have expected Garchomp to be faster than Drapion. But for those of you who aren't aware, Drapion's got 95 base speed, Garchomp's got 102, so that's relatively close. And as we've talked about
I believe it was its second best stat as well, the Drapion's.
As we've talked about before already, is that in Pokemon Platinum, they give the Pokemon, especially on important fights here anyways, they do give the Pokemon some extra EVs and IVs to make them a little bit more of a threat. And they spec Drapion to have a little bit of extra speed. And so as a result, it outsped Garchomp.
Yep, it did matter.
So not only did the crit matter, but also just the fact that they spec'd it. So yeah, we're 2 down on the first Pokemon League. This is not what you want, obviously.
Yep, and now I'm looking for just who can possibly, because I'm getting a clean intro here, so I need something that's going to hit first. And I'm comparing, I believe I looked at Jolteon and Weavile speed, or that's what I'm doing right now. Yep. And then I start looking at what his resistances are. And I will end up settling on the Jolteon because he has much lower special defense. And of course, Jolteon is just roided out with his special attack. As well as being like somewhere around probably 30 or 40 points faster than the straight, possibly.
Yeah, and this is another one where you definitely make the right choice in the end. Trying to hit Drapion on his special defense, especially with a Pokemon who has a high special attack, is definitely the way to go. And then outspeeding the thing. Now, both Weavile and Jolteon should outspeed Drapion.
Yes, I do think we calculated it. Each of them was like 20 or 30 points faster than the Garchomp.
Yeah. Yep. And Jolteon actually, as we saw there, did surprisingly well against a physical attack. Jolteon's kind of paper when it comes to physical attacks. That was actually, kind of nice.
So I did a quick crunch. If it didn't crit me, I live and I get to hit him first. That is what happened. He did not crit, which let me do all of that, especially since he full restored. The Skyzor's typing was a bit obnoxious.
Yeah, Steel Bug. This was, I think, again, because for those of you who haven't been paying too much attention to the previous highlights, Koryth is not the most familiar with a lot of different Pokemon in the type matchup, so I think this is your first encounter with the Bug Steel type.
It is, yes.
Yeah, and that's always a bit of a shock when it's like, it has only one weakness.
Yeah.
So now I think, if I recall correctly, this was you trying to find a way to get Blissey in safely to go for the flamethrower.
I do believe that is correct, yes.
But the Scizor is basically all...
I might have... Did I just sacrifice someone here, or did I...
I don't think we sacked anyone.
Did I let Gyarados tank? Yeah, because I'm trying to remember how exactly we got... Or maybe... You would think I would remember this. We didn't do this too long ago, but...
Oh, that's me. I accidentally opened Discord. Well, or I shouldn't say open, but brought up Discord. Can't keep that thing minimized to tray. It's too appealing.
Maybe we did swap to Gyarados, and I think I just waterfalled. Yeah, that Discord was not leaving you alone.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem was I was alt tabbing to some other stuff that wasn't on screen, but but because the second time was because Discord was opened recently, it was the first thing on the alt tab list, and I didn't make that connection. I just thought I was going to the other thing, so it opened Discord a second time, and I'm like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we.
Yeah, this is
Gyarados and waterfall here.
Yeah, because I think you were just crunching a bunch of numbers here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how you get around this thing. Damn. It is taking a bit longer than I remember, though, even at ×2 speed. There we go. Now we got some action. We moved a menu.
Don't speak too quickly now.
We changed menus, all right? Progress.
I'm not done thinking. Not done thinking yet.
Maybe I shouldn't have left the entire Pokemon League fight in here. Maybe I should have cut this a little better.
Yeah, it might be worth looking at how long just this, all this hovering has taken. But it's okay. It's gonna take a moment. I'm gonna take a moment to think here, and then it's gonna get real exciting a bit down the line here.
Right. And we're back.
You acknowledged it.
I don't even remember what you were thinking here. It's like, why would you use anything other than waterfall? Oh, yeah. I think this is where you thought Chansey or Blissey would actually do some work, and then get hit by another physical attack.
Oh yeah. But
as you saw with that,
into Jolteon, who just cleans out the rest of this.
Yeah, as you saw with that power gem, that was a special attack move. Like you probably didn't even notice it did damage, but
yeah.
But once it switched over to a physical move, yeah, it's kind of nutso. Now it does spoiler alert, does, generally speaking, really well here against Bertha. The Gyarados just kind of tanking really well against Wishcash, able to put out a lot of damage without taking much back, and can easily one-shot the Golem. Like so. Rhyperior's a little bit of a threat, but it for some reason opts for Avalanche over Stone Edge. So we live and get to kill it. Gliscor, very dangerous in its own right. And this is where things get really interesting.
You see that immediate
Thunderbolt on the Gliscor. It was a fantastic pivot. He saw the Thunder Fang coming in. He's just like, we'll just dodge the Thunder Fang with Jolteon and then die to the Earthquake. As one does.
My mind might have been thinking about the Thunder Fang, and it translated into Thunderbolt. At which point, Instinct kicked in from the rest of this game.
Yeah, and unlike that Drapion Cross Poison, Jolteon did not just take an Earthquake, no problem.
But we did, in fact, make it to the third Elite Four.
We did get to Flint. We're 4 Pokemon down, but here we are.
Forgot to either the Gyarados in perhaps his most important fight.
Right. Oh yeah, this is I was explaining that Sun is reducing the water's power by half. And you're just like, we're gonna power through the cold. And then you forgot that Infernape has Thunder Punch.
Yeah.
And it's much faster than Gyarados.
And now we've got our remaining Ice type.
Yep.
Or technically Dark too. It is an Infernape.
Yeah,
Do believe he had Break.
You're very dead to a firefighting combo as an Ice Dark. There's not a lot of hope
Not
for
a
you.
good time. Yeah.
There's not a lot of hope for you in this one. Does survive with 1 HP somehow. Don't ask me how that happened, but yeah, that is the end of the Pokemon Platinum training run here. It's unfortunate we didn't get to beat the Pokemon League, but the most important thing was just getting the basics of Nuzlocking down.
Yes, and it turns out Thunderbolt, not always the move.
Yeah, ground Pokemon tend to be immune to that. But I guess to end this now, just for those of you who did stick around to watch the training arc, thanks. I hope you had fun. I know we did.
I had a blast.
And the next time we get together for one of these, we're going to try and do another. I say another for me. It's Koryth's first Nuzlocke or Soul Link, but we're going to do a Soul Link, and we're going to be doing Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Yes.
So
I have at least played those games before, but again, not with any real knowledge of the mechanics of the game.
Yeah. So that'll be fun, hopefully, and we'll probably see you guys there.